Take care of your space and your life. Keep your room tidy, wash your hands, cut your fingernails, comb your hair, brush your teeth, and many others. Take care of your space and your life. Brush your teeth, make your bed, bathe, cut your fingernails, comb your hair, and many others. Make cleanliness a habit. Personal
It's yet another beautiful morning. I don't know, my producers, Hafizo and Tyson, should have played for me my Valentine song, or we should play it at the end. Today we are celebrating Valentine. Life is in the air. Happy Valentine to you, Tyson, to you, Hafizo, Ashtray, MC Emma, who have I forgotten? My sugar. Where's my sugar daddy? My sugar daddy is not yet inside here. DJ Shamo, happy Valentine's. And to everyone out there celebrating Valentine's, happy Valentine's. To those that are born on this day, all we can say is we wish you a happy birthday. Bettina and Bob Dixon, happy birthday to you guys. May you live to blow 1,000 candles, and we love you so much. As we do celebrate love, I hope we do celebrate you this very day. Well, it is a day where people are putting on red and black. I actually forgot to, I don't know if I never had any top that is red, but it's, well, when I walked in, my producer told me, Susan, what happened to the red top? I told him, but you know, for you, why didn't you buy me one? So my producer Tyson needs to buy me at least a flower as we do celebrate Valentine. This morning we're going to be talking about depression. Now, children are going back to school. Other children, you know, their exams are back. To senior 4 candidates, congratulations. But I don't understand this system. It's only showing result 1. There is no anything else apart from almost everyone passed in result 1. So congratulations. With me this morning, I'm delighted to have Susan, Strong Minds. And the reason why we have Susan this morning is we want to talk about parents who put pressure on their children. Parents who think that, you know, a kid passing in grade 2 means that these children have failed all their failures. But well, these kids also get stressed. They go into depression. Some of them end up saying, I'm not going to go back to school, because if I go back to school, again, the pressure is going to be so much from my mom and dad. I don't know whether it is worthy it. Sometimes I don't think it's worthy for the parents to have pressure on these children. But Susan is here. She's going to take us through how we can deal with the pressure as we do take back the children to school, how we can deal with the stress and the depression. Some schools want 75%. And these days, if you're paying via the child's code, if it is not 75%, you cannot access. You find some parents going into depression, and you know they are struggling. But good to see you, Susan, and good to have you. Good morning once again. Thank you for coming back.
Thank you so much, Sheila. Good morning once again.
Good morning.
And thank you for having me today.
Happy Valentine.
Happy Valentine's.
Susan.
Yes, please.
Parents are out there. Should we call it breaking stigma around mental health in children, or breaking stigma in parents dealing with their mental, you know, health? Because parents are going through a lot. As right now, as we're talking, we have a parent who has just taken a P7. P7 has joined senior 1. After a week, the senior 4 exams come out. Has one joining senior 5. Another one has one joining campus or senior 6. And then you find another one has a baby, you know, joining baby class. All that is money. And when they come back home and the children try, you know, to say, Daddy will come back home. Temunta wanya. I'm looking for school fees. Well, some can say, Daddy, our DSTV is done. Their parent will, you know, shout at the child, choose between DSTV and school fees. How do we deal with that, we as parents?
Thank you, Sheila. We recognize that this is a very tough time time when it comes to parents, and also the pressure around the school-going children, the school demands in terms of school fees, you know, and being able to adjust around those, but also with the financial constraints that come in. You might find that this is a father or a mother who actually has a loan. Okay, they've taken in a loan, and also the demands are very high compared to what they can be able to actually provide at that material point. And all these issues actually place a lot of pressure, and they might actually trigger this parent to have mental health problems, but also it's a spiral effect. And it's important that we have compassion. One, we're not going to blame the parent. Either we will not blame the child. Yeah, so it's important that we'll have compassion, but also empathy. How do the children have empathy for the parent at that material point? But how does the parent also have empathy? But many times we find that our empathy banks have actually run out. And at that material time, when you're having that pressure, Sheila, imagine if you were the one, or you are going through this very situation, you might not be able to cope. And actually, it might be a telltale sign that you need support. Because when we talk about mental health, when we talk about stress, there are times that as an individual have actually overwhelmed you and you're not able to cope. Okay, you're not able to think through creatively on how to handle these, and it's a sign that actually you might need support. You talked about depression, and I wanted to talk about how do you know that actually you have depression.
Yes, actually I was going to ask you, how does, you know, how do we know that parents have depression, and also how do we know that these children have depression?
Yeah, that's an important topic, because you find that many of our parents, many of our children might be overwhelmed. We have children who received results and actually did not expect that probably they will get a second grade. Probably this is a child who had been getting good grades throughout, and then they get this disappointment, and how it comes through to the parents. Many times the parents are disappointed, and you'll find that there'll be conflicting interests or disagreements that come in. And all these pressures, coupled with school fees, coupled with the requirements, coupled with all those demands during this time. Yes, 75%, it really puts a lot of pressure on both the parents but also the children. So depression is a mood disorder that is characterized by sadness, and this sadness is persistent. And also loss of interest in the things you used to enjoy previously. Probably you used to love having time with your children, laughing with them. You know, when you return from work, you're happy to say hello to your kids, find out how they are feeling. But yet again, you notice you don't want to do this anymore. You know, you're a parent and you're feeling so overwhelmed. And when you return home, you'll want to be by your side.
You just want to, you know, be in your own room.
Yes, in your own room, locked up. And even when the parents ask, Daddy, Mommy, can you put DSTV? You're lashing out at them, you know, and shouting at them. And this has gone on for 2 weeks or more. There can be other signs and symptoms like a lack of concentration. There are times your children come in and they're telling you lots of stories, but you know you're into your phone.
You're on the phone,
okay?
And
you're
I
into
think
your
thinking.
Phone. Yes, and you're thinking, trying to calculate, how will I be able to raise this 75% that you made mention? Yeah, so we find that the sleep patterns might change, and you find that many of the parents might have difficulty sleeping, or some might lose sleep along the night, and changes in appetite, changes in the way they relate with neighbors, with colleagues at the workplaces, and all that. Those could be telltale signs. And for the children, you find that our children begin to withdraw, to isolate. Okay, when we talk about the behavior level, some of these might be more irritable. You find that some of these children might cry. They are sad, often sad. Some of them might stop playing. Okay, so you find that many times when our children are happy, they'll play around, they'll be happy, they'll be active, they'll be able to also do the house chores at home, but within the schools, they'll also be motivated to do the schoolwork. But you find that this might go down, or the motivation might go down, and they will not be able to enjoy their daily life, but also their chores. So that could be a telltale sign that
someone is
actually,
going into depression.
yes, this child is depressed, this parent is depressed and therefore needs support.
So to a parent who is going through depression, how do we deal with that? Because I think the way we deal with parents is not the same way, the way we can deal with an adult rather, it's not the same way that we're going to deal with children. And also, I keep on asking myself, do babies also go through depression? I'm talking about from 0 to about like 6-7 years. One time I sat and I was talking to my mom. My mom said, yes, this one, the one from 0 to about like a month has depression. I said, how? You have not changed her pamper. Maybe you have not given her enough breast milk. I'm like, but now, this one who has just come into the world, how do you tell me they have depression? In case these babies are going through depression, or children, or the parents, how do we cope up, or how do we deal with depression with adults and also with children?
With the children, yeah. So we'll find that the symptoms will come out differently, or will manifest differently for the children and the adults. I'll start with the children. So for the babies, the younger babies between 0 to 6 months, or 0 to about 3 years, we'll find that there'll be irritability, crying, agitation, loss of appetite. And many times for the babies, the little babies, you'll find that there'll be changes even with the way they breastfeed. You find that the child might not breastfeed as normally as they were. The child might cry often, and you talked about changing diapers. Okay, those are some of the, the triggers that if a child hasn't been changed for a long time, then that could also affect the child, agitate the child, but also affect them mentally. But we also have issues, especially dealing with attachment. Attachment and also caregiver support. So between 0 to 3 years. So how attached or how supportive is this caretaker in terms of supporting the child, giving timely meals? Could it be the mother? How responsive are they when the child cries? For instance, if a child wants to breastfeed, how responsive are they? But also we find that many times as parents, we are affected. If a parent is affected with depression and probably they are lashing out at a child, they are leaving a child alone for long hours, closed up in a room, not attending to the child, you find that this might affect the child significantly and also make them susceptible to mental health problems.
Susan, you've said us looking up children into our room. Sometimes we have naughty corners where we put these babies when they are too naughty. I, for one, I have a naughty corner for my little one. And you just, tell them, stay there. Please don't come. No light. You just keep them in. Are we torturing their minds? Are we making them go through depression? Because what do? If, you tell a baby this tomorrow, sometimes you need to have a naughty corner. But my question would be, for how long should we keep them in that naughty corner maybe?
Yeah, and also thinking through, is it something we need to rethink? Is a naughty corner beneficial? And, we need to think through how can we be able to have better communication with our children, open communication, and being able to set the expectations. For instance, Sheila, you're my child, and when you do this, it's not a good thing, okay? So these are the repercussions. So, and then also, what punishments can we be able to apply that are not going to affect our children's mental health? But also, have we been able to communicate this as parents and be able to, to give the right reinforcement at the end of the day to encourage our children? But let's look at the babies. Because initially you had talked about the babies. This baby,
from 0 to about 6 years.
6 years. So we have the ones that do not talk, haven't yet started the speech. And you find that this child is agitated and they are crying. They need attention. Probably they have a problem with their physical health. Probably they have pain. Probably they need their diaper to be changed, okay? Or they want to feed. But how is the caretaker attending to this child in a timely manner, but also being able to meet their primary needs. So we find that many of those children at a young age might be affected and have, you know, attachment problems, behavior problems, and all that. And it's important that caretakers notice this early and are able to prevent them, to prevent the red flags. Because if these are not attended to at an early stage, then you find that they will increase and then continue, you know, even through, through adolescence, through adulthood. So it's important that we resolve these issues early enough. And then when it comes to the little ones, about, you know, 2 years to 6 years, we find that many of them might be irritable, and you'll find that this could be a red flag that this child is actually facing, you
depression.
know, yes, facing depression or having a mental health challenge or having a stressor. Many times these children act this way, naughty, irritable. They tend not to listen because they want your attention. We know that parents in this day and era are very busy. We go to work very early in the morning and then we return late.
Yes,
these children have been in school most of the times. We don't know what has happened within the schools. We haven't found out, how are you? What happened today? How are you feeling today? We don't know what happened between them and the maid. You know, probably they faced issues with the maid.
Sometimes the maids, they pinch them when they are showering them in the morning.
Yes. Sometimes even sibling rivalry, okay, happens within the homes, and we do not know. So when you come in and you say, why did you leave your cup on the table? Yet I always said, whenever you finish up your porridge, whenever you finish up your milk or tea, take it to the sink.
They also have a tendency of saying, but Susan, sorry to cut you short. Mommy, but we have a maid in the house.
Yes.
Why doesn't that one come and pick this cup and takes it to the sink?
Yes. So you find that this child is naughty, but actually they are trying to get your attention. But were you able to come in and say, Sheila, how are you? How did you feel today? What did you do today? What did you enjoy? Or what didn't you like, you know, during the day? And you're trying to find out from them, you know, so that you get to know probably why did they leave the cup. Ultimately, you might find that they experience something. For instance, I'll give an example. You know, at one point I came in at home and my child was very naughty. I didn't know what had actually happened. But when I kept listening, I found out that she had fallen.
Oh.
Okay? Yeah, in the course of that day. And so I understood from her perspective that this is what affected her through the day. She wasn't feeling fine and I needed to attend and show empathy. But if I'd come in with, you know, questions and, you know, that naughty corner, you know, attaching punishments, yet I haven't understood the entire story.
Exactly what happened to her.
Yes, and it's also important that this helps our children to also build emotional awareness. When you come in, Sheila, and tell your child, how are you feeling today? Okay, they're able to name their emotions and say that today I'm feeling sad. Today this happened to me. Okay, they begin to have emotional awareness around their life and probably what is triggering them to feel the way they are fearing. One day they'll come and say, I'm feeling happy. My friend, I was able to interact with my friend. We
now
were
that they've
happy.
gone back to school, they have met their friends.
Yes,
true.
we were happy and this is what happened. And probably next time they'll come in, they'll be very sad. And you ask, what happened? And they'll be able to share that today we fought with my friend. Or maybe she carried gorillas and didn't actually share. Yes. And so that made me feel sad. And probably if you notice this is persistent, you might go deeper as a parent to find out what exactly happened. Can I go in and speak to the teacher? Can I have a one-on-one with this child? Can I continue to train on some behavior steps for this child to be able to learn how to communicate, to negotiate? And ultimately, that is what will make our children safe and enable them have a thriving health, especially when it comes to their mental health.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot that some of us didn't know, because I, for one, and my little one is in the naughty corner. But anyway, you're watching One-on-One right here on U24. Sheila is my name, the host of the show, and of course with me, I'm delighted once again and honored to have the Susan, the beautiful one, to take us through how we can deal with stigma and mental health in children and also in parents as we take back the children to school. You can follow this conversation on our YouTube page, which is at U24 Television. That is Facebook. Follow us on TikTok, and actually we are live every session of the the shows that we're having. We are live on TikTok, we are live on YouTube, we are live on Facebook, Instagram. We basically live, so you don't have a way of saying that you didn't watch. In case you have any questions and queries, you can send them in. We'll always give feedback to these people that we host. Susan, how do we deal with now from the children now to the parents? How do we deal with it? Because sometimes we parents go through a lot. There's something, I don't know if you've heard about it, that there's a man who was in a taxi, and I think this man was really depressed, and I think the children called and said, "Daddy, what are we going to eat for dinner or for supper?" Bananywa obuji, baja kusudira obuji, and you don't know, sometimes parents even are crossing the roads, but their minds are not there. Now, people that are driving have to be, careful, because you might knock someone because this person is not in the sense of, understanding. How do we deal with depression? Mostly in parents as this critical time whereby they have a baby joining baby class, senior 1, senior 5, and of course some are joining senior 6, registration fee. How do we deal with parents who, who are going into depression? How can we know, and how can we bring them from that depression so that it is not affecting them and also affecting their children?
Yeah, thank you so much, Sheila. It's important to know that mental health, like any other illness, is an illness, and it is okay not to be okay. Each of us in life goes through various issues, and especially during this time we have issues with school fees, parental pressure, demands from the children. You find a time when a child will write all their requirements, and when you look at the list, you begin to count off and say, am I able to cope up? But also with the school fees. And all these issues or factors that actually put pressure on the parent. And there are times you'll find that you're not okay, you're not yourself, you're not the usual Sheila that you were, you're not the usual parent that you are. And the first step is to notice that I need help.
True.
The first step is to notice that actually I'm not the normal person that I was. And as I earlier alluded, that how do we tell that you're actually depressed? How do you tell that, there's a red flag here? And one way you can know is that look at your behavior. Are you more irritable than you were? Your interaction with friends, your interaction with relatives, with the people around you, with your children, are you having anger outbursts? Okay? Are you finding yourself, in a withdrawal state? You want to be all to yourself, and actually you're not happy. You're feeling sad, you're feeling low, you feel like you've lost hope at the end of the day. And then again, you see that all avenues have been, exhausted. Probably you've reached out to a friend, you've reached out to relatives, you've been able to look at your savings and you cannot contain. So the pressure is going really high, okay, during this situation. So it's important to know that you're not alone. You're not alone. It's okay not to be okay, and you can be able to seek support. You can be able to talk to a trusted friend and colleague. You can be able to talk to a relative that you trust. Look at your internal resources. Who are the people who have been there for you? Who are the people who have been, supportive to you? Reach out to them, be able to talk. But then ultimately, at the end of the day, if these feelings or emotions overwhelm you, please reach out to a professional. In Strong Minds Uganda, we are available to support you through the process. At the community level, we have community health workers who are also within the different areas. You can reach out to them to seek support because at this time you need a space, safe space to be able to vent out, share out your feelings. They could have triggers, you know, triggers that go beyond the two weeks. Probably these are triggers that came through or a result of a disagreement with a partner, okay? And during this time, you're not able to find, you know, support or get school fees from maybe the father of the children, who is the primary provider in the home. But this might have their root in a disagreement that happened probably. And you need, you know, support on how to deal with this disagreement, resolve it, and be able to attain communication skills, negotiation skills, but also a way you can go around this. During this situation, you find that you might also have other triggers beyond the disagreement. It could be grief, probably one of the relatives or one of the support systems that was really there for you actually died.
Yeah, it's normal.
Okay, yes, and during this time you feel, okay, right now I'm stuck. I'm not able to call on anyone. I'm not able to seek support from anyone. And it reminds you of the grief. It could be that you have a situation where you're in isolation, and probably as an individual or as a parent, you lack skills, communication skills, ability to negotiate, but also ability to relate. Because we know during the school fees time, many times we seek support, okay? But at this time, you're not able to communicate.
Well, we're not able to communicate because, you know, at this particular time, you can go to school and the bursar, seeing the bursar at this particular time, they also become proud in their offices. I'm very busy. They don't see Nagwenda. And, you know, you find sometimes parents do not have where to run up. The only thing maybe they can do is run and look for a place up somewhere where they can, you know, put a rope in the neck and, you know, you die and you leave your children behind. So I don't know, how have you people tried, you know, to go into schools and to deal with this kind of parents? Do you get time to talk to these parents? Do you have PTA meetings where you're invited and, you know, share a word with us, the parents in different schools, how to deal with depression and how we can get out of it?
Okay, yeah, thank you so much, Sheila. So currently as Strong Minds Uganda, we've been able to partner or collaborate with Ministry of Education as well as Ministry of Health. And we've been able to capacitate, but also work with the schools. We've capacitated the senior women, senior men within the schools. And they are able to also provide awareness raising on mental health, okay, for both the teaching and the non-teaching staff, but also to support the children. And once awareness is done, we're also able to screen for those that are identified to have mental health issues. We're able to provide support and provide interpersonal psychotherapy for groups, which is group therapy for a period of 6 weeks. So that we provide safe space for children to vent out, children to share what is actually happening in their lives. What are those emotions? What are those issues that they've not been able to resolve? And they're able to then build coping mechanisms, learn, okay? How do they problem solve? How can they be able to do forgiveness? How can they be able to also communicate to their parents better, you know? Talk to their parents, reach out. So all these skills are learned within the therapy. And when we talk about the parents, we are also able to do awareness raising around you know, issues that the parents go through. And this is done through the parental meetings that happen within the schools. So we want to ensure that this parent, who is the primary caretaker, who is the safe place for this child, has also been handled, has also been supported. And within the communities, as the parent goes back in the community, they're able to still get support from the community health care worker within the different communities. So we want to share that we are available for support. They are internal resources, but also external resources within the community level for you to actually reach out, seek support, and we shall listen to you. in a non-judgmental way, will be able to listen and also attach you to therapy groups where you can be able to learn coping mechanisms and also be able to resolve the issues you're going through. You're not alone.
You're there to help.
Yes, and we re-echo that it's okay not to be okay. It is the first step, you know, building awareness, but also knowing that I have an issue is the first step. And secondly, the ability to seek support.
How do I deal with this issue?
To seek support is not a weakness. It's actually a strength when you're able to seek support and seek out and say that I cannot do this at this point. I'm overwhelmed at this point, but whom can I reach out to seek support? So that is a very big strength. And we encourage that we reach out. Many times we have stigma within our communities, and especially due to societal, you know, norms, but also cultural issues around mental health. And we find that mental health is usually labeled. When you hear that probably someone has depression, someone has bipolar, someone has schizophrenia, you find that there are labels that are attached. Or mulalu.
Or they're discriminated in the society.
She's crazy, okay? But would love to share that, you know, mental health is an illness.
And it can be treated.
It can be treated.
And you can heal from it.
And you can heal from it. And it's important that we usually separate the diagnosis from the identity. Because if I'm affected by a mental health issue, I'm not the mental health issue, okay? I'm only ill, and I can actually be able to resolve if I get the proper treatment. Yeah, so it is okay not to be okay. And the first step is that you should build emotional awareness and be able to know that today if I'm acting more irritable, today if I'm sad, today if I'm feeling isolated, then it is a red light or it's an indicator that I'm not okay.
All right. And how can I deal with it? Well, Susan, do you have a hotline at Strong Minds Uganda where, you know, someone can call in just in case they have an issue and they need someone to talk to? Is there a hotline where there is someone, you know, on speed dial that can always, you know, get to talk to these people who are going through depression and mental health?
Yes, Sheila, we have a hotline.
Yes.
I think I can be able to
retrieve
it as we as we continue.
Okay. Now, as you're looking for the hotline, what would be your last, you know, message to the parents out there as they take back the children to school, and also to the children out there when you look into our cameras right there?
Okay. Thank you so much, Sheila, for today. Dear parents, dear children, I want to tell you that there's hope. It doesn't matter what you're going through. It might be school pressure. It might be results that you did not expect and you're feeling disappointed. But I want to tell you that it's okay not to be okay. And the first step to healing is to actually notice that you need support. We are available to support you as Strong Minds Uganda. Reach out to a trusted friend. Reach out to a trusted person that you can talk to, and ultimately a professional. And indeed, there's hope that you'll be fine. Thank you so much.
All right, Susan, thank you so much for coming through. Just in case someone would love to reach out to you, where are your offices and how, you know, how can we get you? Maybe they can call you and you know, give them a number to call and to give them more inquiries.
Okay, thank you so much, Sheila. So you'll be able to reach out on 0705 519 442. And you'll be able to also get to me. And offices are located in Bugolobi, in Luthiri Rise, just after the Bugolobi Flats. Yes, just before Banana Bar. You'll be able to locate us and reach out. So I'll read the number again. It's 0705 519 442. You can be able to call and you'll be able to reach us.
All right. Thank you so much, Susan, and thank you for coming. Send our greetings back to your people, and thank you for the good job that you're doing in the community and also in the schools, you know, for letting us know about mental health and also the other diseases that you can be better and you can heal and be a better person.
Thank you so much,
Susan. Well, thank you so much for being part of this beautiful show all the way from the hour of 9 up to this hour of 10 past 10 a.m. in the morning. I can see DJ Shamo, my sugar daddy, has come in and he's getting ready. I think DJ Shamo, the first song that I'd love you to play for me is my Valentine. Today is Valentine. I haven't seen you bring for me any flower. Now I'm going to get another sugar daddy. So Shamo is going to be chucked this, this Valentine because he hasn't bought me a flower. So allow me to check you, DJ Shamo. Fresh and Clean is going to be up and we're going to be playing for you some of the beautiful music. But thank you so much, my producer Tyson and Hafizo for letting us, be here this morning and for also talking about mental illness and mental health rather in children, and it can heal, and in parents, and how we can go about it. Susan has read her numbers. You can call her and follow her. She'll be able to to give you more directions on how you can deal with your mental issue. And remember, she said you can heal and be a better person, so people should not discriminate you in society. Thank you. Happy Valentine. We wish you a blessed day, and I'm waiting for DJ Shamo to take me out today. He's my sugar daddy, so I believe he will take me out. Happy Valentine's, and may you enjoy this day. And those that are born on this day, we wish you all the best. God bless you. We'll do this again next time, same time, right here on U24.